This is a shelter that weighs tens of thousands of tons. It's built at the angle between the huge stones. The whole house is made of stone and bamboo. The indoor floor is not only paved with wild slate, the exterior shape is also quite unique, since the last shelter was built to meters underground. It's cold and damp, with little cuties around. This forced Mr. Zhu to start again. After 2.5 kilometers on foot, he found 100-ton boulders. The spacious interior gives him a sense of security. Immediately decided to settle down here. Apparently this time he came prepared. The bag has all the tools. Not much to say. He takes out the black cut. Start cleaning up the site. Wait until all the implied weeds are cleared away one by one. You build a staircase out of the clutter of stones. And the uneven places just need to see the stitches. In this way, you can have a spacious enough sun. The soil dug out by the platform is just laid on the balcony. Then use it on the ground. 45 yards of feet are welded firmly. The internal space at this moment obviously not up to his requirements, because he's going to build the kitchen inside as well. For this, it took him 2.5 hours to expand the interior further. Benefit from the well-chosen location made it a lot easier for him to build on the roof. Then he went to collect logs nearby. This small tree is not yet mature, but they are the roof. Building indispensable materials. Cut it flat at one end. It can be inlaid in the crack. Embedded in wild stone. Nothing to say about this firmness, due to the fact that the world is home all year round. For this construction process, Chairperson Zhu is already familiar with the beam mounted, and they have to be fastened with free rattan wrist. And I would clip the arm-thick log. Suitable length. Sharpen the other end. Can be used as a door frame for a house. The process is not cumbersome. The width of the door is as long as it is convenient to enter and exit. But just using vines is still not reliable. It is necessary to hit wild nails, and the measured connections have to be put in place one by one. Remove the excess, and we can fix the roof. You start by putting the beams on top. The whole process is flowing. Degree of relaxation. As expected of a year, there are 364 days. Men who live in the wild. In order to make the house more comfortable to live in, he came to the bamboo forest. Start collecting free masters. Let's say we live in the wild. Nothing but wild women. This allows him to achieve 0 yuan dog anytime. This kid chopped 5 or 6 in one go. I can see he was satisfied with his natural habitat. Immediately go to the side and find the first-class slate. Although there are no ready-made bricks, but he enjoys the pleasure of using it for nothing. Just take the sheep and tie back a lot. He's going to use these slates. Build yourself a warm fireplace, and collect the fine loess nearby. Use the bag saved by my wife's grocery shopping last week. I'll ship back. It's almost enough to ship 7 or 8 times back and forth. Invite them to drink another sip of the 82-year-old spring. Knead vigorously in the position of kneading the dough. This is the so-called strongest version of wild concrete, and there's nothing complicated about making a fireplace. Just a layer of stones from the bottom. A layer of soil can be slowly built up. In Yang Kong, he uses bamboo to extend out of the roof. I have to. That's a really spiritual and convenient idea. After completion, you can fix the roof of the house. We first cut the bamboo to the centimeter. Then cut it all in black and split it in two. A little trimming can be arranged to the roof with a solid wood frame. It's much easier to set up like this. It's okay to arrange it neatly. In order to move into a new home tonight, the position of the front wall. Zudong also plans to use bamboo to complete. The advantage of using bamboo is that it saves time, and they build their houses out of bamboo. It is also a unique local feature. The people who let life end here, they've learned to use what's available on the ground. The process seems simple. It's not that hard. In less than half an hour he had built 2 walls. As for the roof position, Zudong chose to seal it all with marble. Such firmness. Even the black bear has to shake its head, and he built it 5 or 6 stories. Fortunately, the resources here are enough for him, as long as you have the strength to move as much as you want. The roof is under his renovation. It has become integrated with the surrounding area. I have to admire his ingenuity. After it's done, he borrowed a few green plants from the side. This green plant flourishes in the spring season. He planted it on the roof without hesitation. The whole house is instantly green and grassland green. Directly fill up the appearance of the shelter. For more convenient travel, the steps in front of the door also need to be arranged in place. Even if you live in the mountains, you have to have a home. Although I am exhausted, but hundreds of caddies of stones, and they brought in a bunch of them. And then with ingenuity and finesse, and you build them up layer by layer, even if every uneven stone, after his beating, bring them back to their rightful place. Walking on it on a rainy day will not be muddy. You'll also feel more secure. He loves cleanliness. Even indoors he lays with slate and uneven stones. First with the indecent tomahawk that has been stewed, split into. With his perseverance, I have to support him even if I don't support the wall. Just collect enough floors with the belt. The interior has been carefully renovated. Bricklayer woodworking double acupoints of Zudong laying ground. Handlebar cardboard. Haven't had time to react yet. They were forced to move into a new home. In pursuit of perfection, every irregular stone. You have to go through some polishing to get to work. Before the official entry, he still has to figure out how to sleep tonight. I saw him bring a bundle of great wood chips, and we put two beams on the bottom for support. You can arrange the planks neatly. With a warm fireplace and insulated floors, you don't have to worry about catching a cold when you sleep at night. And then he actually built a solid wood door panel. With the wild nails brought out of my hometown, you get a pretty strong security door. The door panels made by it are also tightly fitted. It has now fully met the standard of bag check-in. After finishing, Dongzu couldn't wait to light the dry firewood. The fire gives off a wisp of smoke with the shallots. After a busy day, he was already hungry. He started looking around for tonight's ingredients. And this banana tree is his meal tonight. Cut down the banana tree. You can get the stamen on it. It doesn't require a complicated cooking process. Just throw it in the fire and smoke it. Bake with air until it is black and burnt before use. Like the original flavor, he didn't add any seasonings, while thanking nature for its gifts. Eat with relish and crunch. No chicken flavor. Carbohydrates are dozens of times that of beef. Wait until you are full. Slept peacefully in the company of a warm fire. The moment he cut through the boulder, you wouldn't think that there's so much beyond that. How beautiful are Turkish men. An inconspicuous stone crack, he turned it into a habitable home. Not only did he create stone wall passages with his bare hands, smoke exhaust system through the boulder. It's a must. Looking at the entire wilderness world, it is quite explosive. Lao Wang, who has been wandering for a year, continues to live in the world, known as the three coolies of wilderness construction, and the narrow gap under the boulder in front of me. At a glance, Lao Wang could see that this was not ordinary, although the height of the gap is slightly cramped, but with a few modifications, might make a nice place to live. This also gives Lao Wang a lot of room for transformation. In order to live with the dog for a long time, Lao Wang will do whatever it takes. A Wolf head stove with big leaves opens up and walks down with wide legs. God opposes killing God. Buddha blocking, encounter 100 tons of boulders to save the sky and serve the lightning hammer. Build the road first, this is the eternal truth. And the stones mixed in the soil. Just the right thing to do to add to the aisle. This kid is very strict. Bumpy stones must be smashed into square edges. The excavated stones do not need to be transported over. He built a half-meter high wall on the spot. Anyone who knows this kid knows. He's going to use that trick again. A fire reaching a cave is the best way to widen it. At the same time, warm up in thunderstorms. Keep adding branches during the period. Under high heat. In the end, limestone can only be defeated. This is the legendary campfire law. Wait until it cools down a bit. You can pry it on the principle of leverage. And this naturally detached slate also goes a long way. Straight and light. It is the material of choice for wild flooring. What does it really mean to make the most of it? After cleaning up the residue and gravel, you can widen the inside. This is a time-consuming and laborious soil transportation process. Lao Wang carried it from afternoon to dark. The next morning, the trickiest thing in front of us is this 100-ton boulder. Of course, Lao Wang, who is obsessive-compulsive disorder, first cut a hole, and then you can put the disc in. This great cooking power is mainly used to grow corn. Now one wants to dig peanuts. The old king sledgehammer 80, under the attack of the small hammer 40, it can't withstand knocked into a ball slightly, with Newton's attractive force. Rock formations that were already fired. Use the guide head to chisel lightly, and it will fall while digging inward. He also needs to chisel out the location of the exhaust. Fortunately, inside it is a layer of soil. It will soon break through the ground. Just clear the rocks from the ground. This is the chimney mouth of the fireplace. For the living environment to be spacious enough, this kind of giant, Lao Wang, will also cut it off one by one. Have such perseverance. Take the key to repair the Great Wall. Isn't that the proper title of model worker? As for the materials used to build the wall, the first choice is these hewn stones. It is best to open it in half within 100 kilograms. He can't carry it because it's too heavy. He is so rigorous that he fills every gap. Only to kunchi were used. The internal wall is completed. Then the fireplace can be repaired. The process seems simple, but the test is a solid foundation. As long as each has 3 or 5 years of construction site experience. Stones of various shapes are stacked so evenly. Backfill an indoor fireplace with dirt and you're done. And the construction of the shallots is also quite exquisite. In order to make 3 generations of fireplace boats go still away. Made of 100 kilograms of boulders he carried. In all fairness, just his construction technology. Putting it on the construction site will be a great salary. The position of the flue mouth is relatively easy. Just layer the stones. Just add soil to cook. Next is the key acceptance stone carving. And the dry leaves on the tree eat out is a sack. Step on the accelerator and hit home quickly. 2 clicks per pound ignites. As the firepower increases, exuberant, the heat generated covers the room in a few minutes. And the smoke billowing from the roof. Enough to prove that this kid has 2 brushes. He then built the remaining exterior wall with confidence. As for the production of the gate, Lao Wang takes local materials, although it looks a little crude. But something is better than nothing. After all, how can a gentleman's bed allow others to peep? Apparently, it has fully met the standard of bag check-in. But Pharaoh's building genes. It doesn't stop there. And he brought in some soft dirt, picking out some relatively flat slabs. Exactly, he wants to make himself a comfortable single bed. Pour in the fine loess. Just make a slate bed. Clean old Wang. And by the way, all the ground was leveled. Compared with the gap that even artists couldn't get into before. Now it looks completely homey. And there's plenty of room inside. And neat walls. It gives you a sense of security. The fly in the ointment is the floor in the aisle. Then he brought back all the remaining slabs. And they put it in the hallway. Wilderness construction can build a house into a permanent home. I dare say, Pharaoh is one of the few. Sprinkle loess at the end to increase the limit. Even if it rains, it won't get muddy when you walk on it. You'll also feel more secure. This will be his home in the wild. The fireplace next to it not only keeps you warm. You can make a fire and cook, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Then arrange a meal for yourself. Let's join the fire celebration party. Although Lao Wang kept his first kiss still there. Already the father of 5 children, but the food has always been of the highest standard. You can't starve yourself if you starve your children. Lao Wang relies on superb craftsmanship. Iron another set of left hills. You kid caught up again today. A stump stands firmly in the center. Like a fixed sea god needle holds up a sky. Hidden to meters deep, the yurt design attracts. Density is a first-class existence. Today's chairperson Zhu is still full of vitality. Bring his 3-level bag to the jungle to find warmth. And this overgrown clearing. That's where he lives tonight. I saw him take out a magic weapon. Start clearing out this empty enemy. A humble tetanus. He played with the endless blade. Knife critical strike plus 40% penetration. The branch is cut off that will cut it off at the waist. Left hand soothes right hand. A disagreement is just a few sticks. I'm tired of square houses. Then arrange a roundhouse today. Fix the hairs. You can draw a circle with a diameter of 2.5 meters. Come back nearby and cut off a branch that has just reached the full moon. Let him be reincarnated as soon as possible. You can still be a cow and a horse matched perfectly with a spade. After having a brother from Liu Yang, you can safely and boldly dig down, since the heights are too cold. Then go lower. However, Zhu Dong bluntly said that he was born in a cold underground can't hurt his throat. And then there's digging, digging, digging. What kind of hill are you digging, digging, digging? Dig a small foundation and make a big home. And this soil and stone double mixed soil. It's not hard to see that this kid has put in a lot of effort. I dug up a full kunchi before reluctantly buying myself. Before digging further down, we need to do some interior planning. Draw a position of less than 2 square meters on the right as a bed, and the one on the left is both cooking and fitness activity area. You are really wily. In this way, the bed that sleeps at night will collapse. Finally, the residue and waste soil are cleaned up one by one. As a leader in underground living, you can always trust Dong Zhou's construction style. The crunchy chicken flavor of the big tree in southern Laos. Hand up the knife and cut it into piles. Hundreds of caddies of trees. Chairperson Zhu can easily talk by himself, but look at his little body that is about to collapse into soup. I'm afraid he won't be able to carry another 2.5 caddies. And then with his brilliant eye, find the center point. You can dig one up and bury it. 100 kilograms tree pit. This will also be the main load-bearing owner of the entire house. Zhu Dong can't be sloppy at all. Backfill the soil. 80 sledgehammers and 40 rows of small hammers. Kung Fu speaking, he brought in a lot of untalented small trees. Move back and forth 7 or 8 times. It seems that this kid really doesn't plan to go home. Break it all to the right length. This will also serve as the collar of the house. And the other side of each end. Both need to be hacked into a 45-degree angle, so it fits perfectly with the weight column. Love like a flower. Sure enough, only men can raise a beautiful home. Overlook. Is there also the beauty of the 2-point geometric structure? Are there any civil and with double acupoints? This is the first time that Zhu Dong has used a wild iron tie today. After completion, you get a yurt-shaped frame. Just one in the green grassland. One is underground. Then use a homemade ruler. Cut the corset to millimeter accuracy. And when it's done, it can be used to anchor the frame. Although there is no modern version of cement and tiles, but branches can be easily employed without money, as long as they are arranged in sequence on the strange soil pit. The branch family should also be neat. The top of the house has a total of 8 faces. Fortunately, Dong Zhu's saw is well used. Make branches of different lengths. Add to the house. It turned out to be an inconspicuous pit, after being decorated with wooden sticks. Instantly increased the beauty by 2 points. Let's congratulate Dong Zhu on his style. Sleeping underground is cooler. We need a warm fireplace. Draw the right size and you can dig in. At the same time, the chimney exhaust port of the fireplace is so that the smoke can be discharged smoothly. This can be avoided. Risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. Finally, put this origin unknown compound fertilizer liner cover on top with the blessing of this plastic wrap. Even if the level 8 heavy rain comes, I am not afraid. Because it's useless to be afraid. Considering that one's own people are short, it is unreliable to set in advance. Ladders to get up and down are necessary. I saw him cut a few sturdy logs in half. Hit some wild nails. We create a safety ladder. After confirming that the ladder does not have any quality problems, Chairperson Zhu began to repair Beer's smoke outlet. To make the house more aesthetically appealing, he's going to drain the cigarette onion. Extends to the very center of the house. The production process is not because difficult. You can't learn the hard things. It's just a layer of clay on the bottom that separates the roof. Log supports on both sides. You can cover the bamboo pieces layer by layer, whether it's heating or cooking on fire. He is good enough to deal with it perfectly. Then the soil is refilled on the roof. The house needs to be integrated with its surroundings. Native soil is the best stealth tool. Then, Chairperson Joe plans to make a flap door out of the remaining wood. Break it all to the right length. All tightly fitted and nailed. A wild wooden door is complete. And confirm that there is no quality problem with the switch. Before checking in with the bag, he still needs to solve his slate problem tonight. Precise cutting of bamboo. After completion, cut it in black and divide it into two. This is where Godong sleeps. Then the bamboo pieces are tiled on the map in turn. Effectively isolates the wet soil. The surface is bumpy. You can also get a back massage anytime. To improve the concealment of the house, he went around and he plucked up all the vegetation. This herb grows in the forest. It was the perfect choice. I saw that he picked up a big bundle full of roots and leaves. Plant them all on the roof. This not only prevents soil erosion, even the face of the sanctuary. The value is also increased by engrave. It's like a little natural paradise. New life. In pursuit of perfection, he went over mountains, found a few green plants. The little tree hasn't had time to react yet. They were forced to move into a new home. With these plants as embellishments, the shelter is instantly green. Don't say it. Don't say it. After some remodeling by him, it feels like home as a whole. To say that the wilderness builds Zudong is definitely the king. A day's hard work left Mr. Zhu tired and hungry. In accordance with past practice, light the fireplace and you should be out foraging. But this kid obviously came prepared. I saw him take out half a chicken from the third level bag, waiting for the charcoal fire in the fireplace to burn almost. You can bake it on the fireplace. High-end ingredients. It often requires only the simplest cooking methods. After it is roasted, it is burned inside and tender outside. You can eat mouth-watering grilled chicken wings. It's time to sleep after eating and drinking. Compared to the days of screwing in big cities, Joe Dong is enjoying the present, simple and happy wilderness life.